Today, from Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today, it's the opener of the 2023 NFL season, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, CD, new season is here. Lions and Chiefs got it going on Thursday night. You and I were there. What a scene that was. But now here we are a few days later on Sunday, looking at two teams with great expectations here to begin 2023.
It's always fun to get a new season started, isn't it, partner? Because everyone feels like they've got a shot at the defending champs. They think that they can be the new champs. And here we are getting things going. Let's have some fun.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steelers offense set for their first possession here, and it's Kenny Pickett who will lead the way, the second-year man, Charles, from Pitt.
Pickett didn't quite lead Pittsburgh to the promised land in his first season as the hometown kid and franchise quarterback, but he did impress once he got in the field. Winning 7 games helped keep the vaunted streak of non-losing seasons alive in the Steel City.
Looking to throw right away, Pickett. And the Niners get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Gotta hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early second and long. Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. Pickett will look to throw it here. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Now Pickett. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33. 14 yards that time for number 14. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6. Looking to throw, Pickett. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
The Niners offense set to go to work, and it's last year's revelation, Brock Purdy, who leads them out in season number 2 from Iowa State.
There weren't many bigger stories last season than Purdy, who's officially the most famous Mr. Irrelevant of all time. Won each of his first 5 starts and almost guided his team to a Super Bowl. He's really forced the team to reevaluate its plans at quarterback, because he looks like the real deal.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Pickens on the slant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. A short one there to Freiermuth. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers 1st down as he'll get this down to the 30-yard line. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. Well, just the last thing you want to see here in the first quarter of a new season. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside for a moment. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Well, these Steelers, Charles, 9-8 a year ago. Their quarterback, Kenny Pickett, made 12 starts as a rookie. Do you see a jump coming, both for him and potentially for this franchise?
I do, and I trace it back to a December game against Baltimore in 2022. Kenny Pickett made some big plays down the stretch to give Pittsburgh a victory. Plus, the Steelers have added some nice pieces around him, and they'll be able to protect him even better in 2023.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Here's Pickett. He gets it left side to Johnson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Drake Jackson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and that will make it 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. So we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different. And I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something? When you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about 00, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys. There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside. Not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. This is Samuel. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. This now a 3rd and 4. Purdy from the gun. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Off play action. Pickett. And this is incomplete. Well played defensively. Nearly had the interception. But it's 2nd down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners 30. A 3rd field goal of the first half. Not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Pickett back to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Pickett now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it first and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there. And now they're looking at a first and goal.
A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's first and goal.
57, Mike, 57.
Back to throw, Pickett. And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. Harris is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is third and goal. Pickett now from the gun here. Touchdown! Pat Fryermuth from 4 yards out. And the Steelers are able to widen their advantage. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Their quarterback leading this offense back out, and he's been off target here early on. 2 drives, 2 interceptions. They'll look to snap that streak here as they start first and 10. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He's going to try and do this himself. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Purdy now to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowsky to punt the football. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 7. Operating from the gun, Pickett. That's caught downfield by Pickens. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a 1st down.
Well, that doesn't have quite the flair of some of Pickens' catches from his rookie year, but it still moves the chains. He quickly built up a rep for making highlight grabs, maybe the catch of the year in Week 3 versus the Browns. He also had 800 yards, and he looked like an absolute playmaker for the Steelers.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Now the ball comes loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 4. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
But when you go from 2nd to 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Purdy. That is caught. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 2nd down and 6 now. And they'll try to run the option here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers. Deebo Samuel from 8 yards out. And the Niners have got it back to within a score. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Johnson goes in motion left. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On the give, this is Harris. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
A nice carry by Harris, who had tougher sledding than in his Pro Bowl rookie season, but still topped 1,000 yards as a Steeler sophomore. As Pittsburgh tries to climb back to the top of the AFC North, he remains a player that their offense relies on.
Now Pickett will look to pass it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. They hand this off to Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks. And now here's a tackle behind the line.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Pickett. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
The lengthy Armstead made a great play there, and he's making up for lost time after he battled injury last season. Getting him back makes an elite group of pass rushers downright scary.
So on 4th down, the Steelers going to bring in Braden Mann to punt. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. San Francisco's offense returns to the field.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Off the option, here's McCaffrey.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
3rd and 3.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll start the drive with Harris. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. Over the middle, complete. It's Harris. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Operating from the gun. Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Pickett. Here's Freiermuth again. And Freiermuth going to have a Steelers first down as he'll get this up across the 30-yard line. Pickett sets up play action. Under pressure, and down he goes. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the first down sack. Pickett. He finds Robinson. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Pickett. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, here's Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They run for it with Harris. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack.
They'll drop to throw.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Boswell's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field.
Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A 2nd down throw for Purdy. Got a man. That's Ayuk.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the visitors who are out in front in the second quarter.
Jahan Dotson.
A touchdown reception. From there, we head over to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And you can see currently they trail in that ball game. 2 touchdown passes there for Teddy Ballgame. We saw a solid first half from the second-year man at quarterback, Kenny Pickett. He was on point, throwing a touchdown pass to help his guys take the lead into the break.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going? Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing here, Purdy. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
2nd down and 4. Here's Purdy.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
He's going to use his legs here.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Here's 2nd and 10. He's going to keep this again.
He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Purdy looking to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down.
Now Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they wind up getting 4 there on 4th and 1. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Purdy.
That's complete out left to Ayuk.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
3rd down and 6.
Back to throw. Purdy. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down. Looking to throw. Purdy.
He's got his target. That's complete.
Touchdown. Deebo Samuel. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Niners' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Moody good with the extra point.
And that will put them on top here in the 3rd.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he powers his way up past the 30.
3rd and 4. Now Pickett.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Brock Purdy and the 49ers out for their next possession.
Last drive, surgeon-like, dare I say, 7 for 7. That'll help your QB rating.
It will indeed, won't it? Can you figure out QB rating? Can you do it? Can you do the formula?
No, I just know the higher the number, the better.
Yeah, that's what I've been told,
That's what
too.
I know.
I know that in the NFL, 158.3 is the number they're all trying to get to. I think he was that on that last drive.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Up the gut, McCaffrey.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the delay, here's Harris. And he might have gotten that yard back, and that's about it, as he'll take it only up to about the 20. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. Going across the formation, he finds Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there, because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Quick completion here to Johnson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Harris running straight ahead, and he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. First and 10, here's Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Pickett back to throw.
Harris has it over the middle. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They'll throw again with Pickett.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and they have regained the lead.
So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think he'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he sheds a tackle. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Pickett.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
3rd and 2. Back to throw, Pickett.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. Now Samuel.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Purdy now to throw.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Off the option, here's McCaffrey.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At the 20.
Harris will start the drive out.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 9.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Now 2nd and 9. Pickett.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
He gets this one to Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw. Pickett. A short one there to Freiermuth.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Back to throw. Pickett.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw. Pickett. Washington's got it. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Boswell's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Yeah, the 49ers getting set to trot out there.
And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a 1-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
They run with McCaffrey off the option. And McCaffrey going to pick up a Niners first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. Off the option, here's McCaffrey.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Now 2nd and 5. Hand off right side, Davis Price.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Niners on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Purdy
connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Back to throw, Purdy.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Cole Holcomb.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. To the air on first down with Pickett. Setting up the screen, Harris.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
From the gun, here's Pickett. That is caught. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
On the give, this is Harris.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They hand this off to Harris. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. On the ground, it's Harris.
And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it.
It's a pickup of 2, and that's good enough to just about write a finish to this one.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Pittsburgh, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.
The Steelers earn the win.